Welcome to So Basic, or welcome back. It's Irene. We are going to jump right into this. I'm going to do a unboxing for a pair of hiking boots I bought on Amazon. It's my first time buying hiking boots off Amazon. I did a lot of the research outside of Amazon and then just found it at a remotely decent price there, and that's why I bought it, plus faster shipping. Anywho, the shoes are for this Oboz, that's right. Oboz Katabatic Mids women's hiking boots. That is waterproof. It's like a mouthful, so let's get into it. Ooh, I'm blocking the light, how nice. That really works. All right, I can get the ends. My hands. Yes, I'm opening it backwards because I'm not sharing my address with you guys. Oh, nice. So, love the packaging. It appears all recyclable, which is great. Fantastic. Very minimal, but again, secure because it's not flipping, moving around, all that good stuff. So again, it's for the Katabatic Mid V-Dry Waterproof shoes in mineral. That's the color. And I got a 6.5. They do say that these shoes run a bit small, some of the reviews. In the past, I've bought half sizes bigger and they've ended up being too big. I have very wide feet, unfortunately. So I have small feet, but they're pretty wide. So I usually end up doing half size bigger in regular footwear. But for hiking boots, you don't want your feet to be swimming around. So here's a perforation right here, as you guys can see. It's supposed to be taped on there. There's a tape right there, kind of like a FedEx box or a UPS box. Anyways, so it's supposed to be sealed, but apparently this is what we're doing, and that's fine. Okay, so let's check it out. We got the little paper. Ooh. So the mineral is actually kind of like a lavender almost. I don't know if that color really comes across, but it's almost like a light gray undertoned lavender, so it's a beautiful color in person. It looked kind of gray online, but compared to the darker gray, you can see some of the lighter. It's actually more of a purple. Anytime I purchase shoes online, I always check the soles because you can usually tell if it's been a floor model or worn previously, because the wear happens very easily on the bottom of the shoe, especially people who are testing it out and walking around the store, and or if it was a previous return. But it's looking pretty brand new. What do you guys think? So this is one side, the other, the back, the front, and the bottom. You can tell that it's not worn at all. There's no residue. There's nothing suspicious, so that's one. You could also often tell to see if things have been taken out of the interior of the shoe, because that's where a lot of the manufacturer stuffs tissues, fitted placeholders so that the shoe doesn't lose shape in transit, things of that nature. All right. I will say I'm used to this. I'm used to the Salomon Ultras. I've had two different iterations of them, the Ultra 3s, which were my favorite, and Ultra 4s. While the Ultra 4s were a lighter hiking boot, it was unfortunately not as durable and not as comfortable. I guess those are some trade-offs for lighter hiking shoes. One thing I do generally look for in a hiking boot is to make sure that there are hooks for shoelaces, just so they could tighten if you need to, because sometimes things get loosened over time, overwear, depending on the terrain. So let's loosen this puppy up. But I like the Ultras because they have 4 of these loops, and this one only has 2, but it's nice so that you could hook it. I like that it's kind of put away so you don't actually get caught in the loop, because oftentimes if I do a little bow tie, sometimes if it's long, the laces will get caught from my other shoe, and you don't want to trip down the mountain. That would be very bad. It's almost happened, but I have not fallen down a mountain from that. There's also a little loop for keeping your laces kind of organized, which is nice. Because you just want to be everything kind of streamlined when you hike. You don't want things all over the place. I hike a lot, so I do know this. All right. So the insoles has a nice cupping shape, so it cups your heel, which is nice because you don't want your heel to be lifting up and down while you're hiking, because that's what causes blisters, is that friction. And you want your heel just snugged right in there. It's supposed to also be moisture wicking, which is nice because these are waterproof, and waterproof shoes tend to be a little bit less breathable, obviously, because you're trying to keep something out. But the B-Dry, which is the waterproofing in this particular shoe, is supposed to be 5 times more breathable than at least the former version of this. So I like this. I always look for some deep lugs on the bottom of any of my hiking boots because it's just good for keeping rocks and debris. I don't know, I mean, I guess that's the name of the game. You're just gonna stomping around the woods, and especially me, I go off trails a lot. So that's really important because you don't want to have your sole be flimsy and get like little rocks stuck in here and have it all be slippery. You want it to be big enough that things don't get stuck in there, but that you also have a really good grip on the road. I always look for this little nub here. I guess the official name is a toe cup. I thought it was a toe guard, but I guess it's toe cup. And also for some protection right above it too, because oftentimes when you're walking forward, that is what makes contact with debris and any other sort of obstacles on the trail. And for some reason, I mean, it makes sense though, but maybe as it gets drier and there's a lot more erosion on some of the trails, some of like the rocks and some of the cracks actually get exposed, and I end up kicking random rocks that have suddenly appeared on the trail. I don't mean like in that instance, but I walk on the same trail almost every day, and that rock wasn't there before because I know the trail very well, but because so many people have traversed that particular trail, suddenly the rock underneath that particular area has been exposed, and then you end up kicking it. And so this is where this little bad boy comes in handy, because this will give you your toesies a little bit of protection against that rock. And it's nice because this is also a nice protective layer. I like that this is a little bit more reinforced and it's not just fabric, because that's important, because I do go through a lot of very thick brush and branches, and I like that they also have this, you could pull it up. I like mids. I don't like high hiking boots unless I'm going in really inclement weather or very wet conditions. I like mids because it gives me some element of ankle support. I have in the past rolled my ankles, sprained my ankles, twisted my ankles, and especially when the terrain is very unstable, unpredictable, it's really nice. So that way when you're walking around, you have that little bit of support, that little quick movement to sort of redirect you and keep you solid. Very worth it. So it looks like it tore through, but that probably was just in the box like that. A little bit of foam, a bit of a tissue. One of the other cool things I found out about this brand after purchasing was that most of these shoes are made with a lot of recycled materials, so it's good for the planet. And then also, every pair of shoes that you purchase, they actually plant a tree for you. So the soles look just as clean and new. This is also great for traction. I do sometimes go on hikes where they do have streams, even in the summer, because it's deep in the forest. And when you're doing that crossing, you want to keep your feet dry and also be secure on slippery surfaces like rocks and or wooden planks and things of that nature, or even logs. Obviously do that at your own discretion, but. And it has this guy in there. Okay, all right. So nice and laced up. Let me take the actual heel cup out for us, the insole, so that we can actually see that. Yeah. Oh, as I drop it. I do like that. See how that is? So it cups your heel. It's nice. Most insoles are flat. The only hiccup with this would be that if you have other insoles it might be hard to put it on top of this unless you kind of cut it to fit that. But otherwise, if you don't have other insoles, this is nice to have because it'll keep your heel nice and steady. You're not slipping and slopping around. And I guess the only thing left to do is to try it on. They're thick hiking socks. They're meant to be very tough and durable on a hike. These are my darn tough socks, which I highly recommend because these have not busted a hole and I've had them for over 4 years. All right, so this will be the trick. All right, flip one and flip two. So see how my feet, I mean, I don't know if you can see them. They're not that big, but they are wide. I was gonna say I have fat feet, but that's not accurate because they're quite bony. So let me open this puppy up. Oh my goodness. Now let's give these a try. I'm really hoping they work out. I bought a half size bigger on the Solomons, and there were 2. Well, these are very tight. But I think they fit because the back heel fits like a glove. It's a little bit narrower because I could feel, you can even see my foot, right here. You guys can see my foot. You can see the width of my foot. Sorry, maybe you can't. You can see it. It's kind of jutting out right there and right here. But I think this actually might be the right size because I'd rather have it a little bit snug. It will loosen up over time. Than having it too loose, because what can happen is if you buy shoes that are too big for you, what ultimately ends up happening if you're coming down you're going on a descent on a hill or a mountain and all your toes start gathering at the bottom because it's not clinched on the heel. So the best way to test your sizing is to put them on as we've done here. Time up like you normally would. No, that's what I would do. It feels good. It feels comfortable. It feels like snug. Like it definitely feels like I've got something wrapped around my feet. This is definitely not for our wide feet girls. So, ooh, I like that. The laces. Oh, man. All right. I like that because the laces really do slip right into those hooks quite easily. My feet actually look quite slim and slender. Everything feels like really snug. Like it's encased in this shoe versus me putting my feet into big shoes, if that makes any sense. I feel very cushioned at the bottom. Like I feel like I have a lot of energy return. And by that, I mean, like when I step down, I feel a little boost up. That's the best way I can sort of describe that. I don't feel like when I step down, like, go-dunk, your body is just like falling. It feels cushioned. It feels bouncy, which is nice. But not so bouncy that like it feels unstable. It feels like a pleasant, snug bounce. And then really the big key is to make sure that there's enough room at the toe box. So I'm pushing up my big toe. Where are you? Let's see. They always say to do it like, make sure to put it at the back and make sure your heels don't lift when you're stepping. And my heels are very snug. Very snug. This is where the widest part of my feet are. And I'm pointing my toes up, and I think my toes are right here, so it's not even in the toe box. You're supposed to, oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, that's a lie. My toe box, I feel my toe, my big toe right here. Right here. So I have space in my toe box. And it's not hitting it. I don't think. Let's see about this guy. So I feel it right here. So my toe is right here. So I do have a little bit of space, I'm not touching the very tippy top of it. So I guess technically I could have a little bit more space here, but I'm gonna walk around the apartment in these. The last time I ordered these hiking boots from Amazon, but after walking like 2 feet in my apartment, I realized it's just not gonna work because it was so tight and vice-like that I just knew, I think even with breaking it in, it wouldn't work out because it was like sort of the body of the hiking shoes that were too tight. I bought a size 7 off Sierra. Real bad. Let's say I'm doing this upside down. See if it's any different from what we got on Amazon. It shouldn't be, right? But, well, it shouldn't, and hypothetically, let's see. Okay. Okay. We got similar vibes here. Pristine condition as the Amazon ones. Seems to be similar condition. I don't see any marks. Same beautiful lilac color. Same vibe. Let's make sure the size. Should be a size 7. Dear God, I hope so. So let's check to make sure that it is a size 7. Okay, it's not there. That's nice. Made in Cambodia. Little doohick here to keep the shoe upright and in good position. I don't see a shoe size, do you guys? Okay, 37.5, a US 7, perfect. This is like the most complicated sizing chart. It's very cute, but complicated. But it looks brand new, not worn. I'm not going to go over all the details again just because it should be similar to, I mean, it's possible it was like it was a little dusty in there, but yeah, that could have happened. But otherwise it looks brand new. We'll do a different fit test though, because I'm really excited. I need new hiking boots. I hike every day and I think my back is starting to hurt from my shoes being worn. Because once your treads start to go and it just wears and your body feels it. I do it every day. This is the other side. Yeah, looks great. Let's check it out. Laces look good. I really do appreciate this little tuck right here. I like that the shoelace kind of tucks in there so it's out of the way. It's a nice feature. Keeps it nice and neat and clean. You don't want your shoelaces getting all tangled and stuff. It's a bad vibe, especially when you're on the side of like a mountain, tiny trail, gravel, other hikers coming your way. You want that extra kind of security that you're not gonna get tangled up. Also size 7, good to check the size and to also make sure that they're the correct shoes, right? So left and right, because I have actually bought shoes in store, and if they don't check, sometimes they just give me like, oh, these are the size 7, you know, after trying it on and trying on the floor model. I've gotten like 2 left feet, which is hilarious, but you know, not useful for me. Cool. I'm wearing the same socks that I used when I was trying on the other pair that was 6.5, and these are I just washed these. They're very fresh smelling, but I think it's only fair to do that because that way, that's the only way you can truly gauge the size difference and how what fits. Because having like really thick socks or thinner socks can really impact the fit of your shoe, right? So we want to be consistent. So I'm gonna loosen these guys so I can get in there without smashing the back. Still tight. still snug, but I will say, which is fine. You do want some amount of support around your forefoot, right? Because you don't want it to be loose, because when you're on uneven terrain and stuff, you don't want it to be moving around in there. You want it to be held in place, because there's a lot of ligaments in your feet, and you don't want those things to get torn or twisted. Those are the hardest things to heal. So I'm gonna give this a good. I also like that these shoelaces are not super long, because when you have extra laces, you can also have extra problems. Okay, let's see where my toesies are and all that stuff. All right. What do you guys think? Oh, I like it. So my heel's not lifting in the back. It wants to, like, there's a slight lift. So there is a slight lift in the back, but I can also tighten this. I didn't tighten it all the way. Look at all that space. So I didn't tighten it all the way. Look at all that space. But I think overall it feels better. So my toes come here. I think in the other one my toes came out here. But you want about a thumb's, like an inch. That's actually where you want your toes to be. So my big toe. You guys see that? I'm not sure. My big toe is like right here, which is perfect. Because when you're going downhill, I mean, firstly, your foot shouldn't move around too much in your boots, but you can't help gravity. So when you're going downhill, you don't want your big toe to be, or your toes to be smashing against the tip of your shoe right there. Because that's how you damage nerves, that's how you get blisters, it's how painful. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to tighten this a little bit and see if it helps with the heel lift. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, there's not really any heel lift. Ever so slight. But I think this could even be tightened even more. That's great. I think this is the ticket. Because everything on the forefront of the foot feels very secure. It's very soft and cushioned. So just the view. There you go. Okay. Guys, this shoe is amazing. I came straight from down there, down this gravelly slip and slide of a trail. It's very inclined, and my shoe's just so solid and stable. Even with this very loose sand, dirt is just gripping the trail. I love it. It's a new trail, by the way, that I found today. Fun.